If you guys have been around for a while, you guys know that I like to flip bikes. I like to experience different kinds of bikes. I started out on a 2019 Yamaha R3. Now we've graduated to the big, bad Yamaha R6. And I'm going to give you my impressions of it. Oh, what a beast. We're on the 2008 Yamaha R6. This baby has 9,700 miles and it's pretty clean, man. I wish I could really keep this bike to myself, and I know I say that with every bike. It's a little bit taller, actually a lot taller than the R3 was. I'm not the tallest guy, I'm 5'7", and as long as, you know, you kind of get a feel for the weight of the bike, you put one foot down and lean your butt cheek over to the foot that you're going to put down, it's really not that big of a deal. It is intimidating at slower speeds and when you're trying to push the bike around, but I just like to hop off the bike and do stuff like that. But as you can tell, she's warmed up, she's ready to go and ready to scream. We're gonna take it a little bit easy because, you know, it's colder out today, the roads are cold, everything is just cold. Beautiful fall weather, and this thing is smooth. I'm in second gear right now, just literally puttering. I mean, these engines are capable of so much that you don't really have to give it much throttle just to go the speed limit. You could probably do the speed limit puttering in third gear on a, you know, 40-50 mile an hour road. It doesn't have too much torque at the lower end, but I'll tell you what, compared to one of the smaller displacement bikes, it's plenty for sure. And once you get to the high end, it just freaking wants to rip your arms off, man. It's pretty insane. It feels pretty light at speed. I've definitely felt lighter bikes like, you know, obviously the Duke or the R3, and the GSXR just felt stupid light. You know, just super flickable, and this doesn't really have that feeling. It feels a little bigger, sluggish, kind of feels like you're sitting on top of a whale, but that's only at the slower speeds. Once you get it up to speed, it, you know, feels just as flickable. If anything, it might be a little bit smoother, which is, I guess, what you want if you're gonna be on the track or doing things like that, you know. And she just wants to go. I'm used to shifting through all the gears super quickly because they're so short on all the bikes I normally ride. But on this thing, it's just go, 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 you know? It's just one gear, one full pull from... Here, I'll show you. That's 100. That's 100 miles an hour right there. Didn't take a lot of effort whatsoever. Super effortless, super just bonkers. It still blows my mind whenever I jump onto 600. And you know, there's still people out there who are gonna be like, oh dude, come on, like you need to ride 1,000. Like a 600, yeah, it's not slow, but it's not fast like a leader bike. That too blows my mind because, you know, if I'm sitting here on a 600, which is kind of like in the middle of how fast bikes typically can be, and I'm already blown away. I can't imagine what, you know, let's say an R1 would feel like, a newer R1 or a BMW S1000RR or something like that. It doesn't have a gear indicator, but who really cares? No matter what gear you're in, I'm sure you can figure it out. You'll always have plenty of power, especially if you're up in the power band. There's no vibration through it at all. The body position is kind of, it's leaned over a bit. You know, I used to think that it was worse, but it's actually not that bad. I think the time that I complained about it the most, I had full leathers on and I was just going out for a leisurely ride, which probably contributed to the uncomfortability of the bike. But And you know, I'm not really feeling it right now. It's 35 degrees outside. You know, I've got these winter gloves on, I've got my jacket, and what can I say? I'm still having a ton of fun on this thing. And you know, I look damn sexy on this thick white bike right here. It's got the gold wheels. Oh my god, I'm in love with this spec right here. That's about the point where it really starts to pick up. Now I was already mobbing by the point that the power band started kicking on. I just feel like a missile, dude. It literally feels like the fuel is getting injected straight into my ass. Even while I'm just, you know, kind of puttering around, cruising, not doing any crazy curves or anything like that. But the power is just so immense. Oh! God, I love it. Would I recommend this as a first bike? No. Is it possible to start on something like this? Yeah. You know, it's not really the throttle that concerns me so much. I mean, yes, it is dangerous, but you have so much room between where it's okay and it's just rip your arms off. That RPM range is just so broad that I'm sure, you know, with some common sense and a good head on your shoulders, you could stay away from that until you feel comfortable hitting it. Now, when it comes to corners, that's where it really starts to make me nervous with beginner riders, because this thing is a lot heavier to push around the corner. It takes a lot more commitment. The tires are a lot wider than something like an R3. So the R3 is just effortless turning. This, you really gotta stay committed to what you're doing, really gotta stay focused. Because any little twitch of the throttle, any little hesitation while you're leaning over and, you know, trying to practice your counter steering could mean catastrophic failure for your body. On this cold day, here we are, riding the R6. It's really cool, you know, and it's super fast and it's sexy. It's everything that I look for on a bike, but I just miss my R3, man. I want them both. I want an R3, I want an R6, and I'm sure when I get the chance to ride an all-one, I want that in my garage too. Woo-hoo-hoo. Chidley brakes are really good. If I told you guys what I paid for this thing, you'd probably be super jealous. So I'll tell you what. If this video can get 5,000 likes, I'll reveal how much I paid for this R6. Super clean, 9,000 miles. I mean, it's got pretty much all the essential upgrades that any R6 owner would want. It's got the windscreen, it's got the sound, the exhaust. You know, it's got cool little upgraded grips and some gold levers. And I got it for a really good price. So if this video can get 5,000 likes, I'll reveal how much I got it for. All it takes is a little touch on that like button. It really doesn't take much at all. Just touch it. I promise you, it'll be fine. And that actually feels good. Go ahead, try it. Hit that like button. But even riding this thing slow is fun. I just like hearing that sound. I've always been fascinated with the sound of inline fours. It's just like music to my ears. Just one full pull through first gear and you're already caught up with traffic no matter how far back you are. God, it's so crazy too. Once the power band kicks in, it's just like, oh, you really gotta hold on. It almost encourages you to tuck in so your head's not bobbing around in the wind. I think it takes a lot more awareness too, because if you're full throttle on an R3 per se, for 5 seconds, you'd probably get to the speed limit in that time. But full throttle on this bike for 5 seconds, you're probably like 80-90 miles an hour already, which is breaking most speed limits out in the country. You really got to have an idea of how long it's going to take you to reach that object in front of you, any hazards or anything like that, because it's going to take less time for you to react when you're going that fast. And the thing about having power like this, even in traffic, I mean, your goal as a motorcyclist is to stay away from it, right? And that's no problem with this. You can just filter at a higher rate of speed than the rest of these cages. And 1 second you're there, and the next you're already gone. Oh, my arms are starting to get cold. Alright, we're good. That's good enough for me. 129 is what I saw. Beautiful Mexico. God, I love this country. Didn't really take that much effort at all. Mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. Oh, I'm so cold. Wow. That'll really wake you up. Let's say a quick prayer. Dear Father in heaven, please don't let me die on this motorcycle today. Thank you. Amen. Uh-oh, I'm low on gas. Should probably get this baby home. Imagine the bike actually sells today and the guy barely pulls out of the driveway, runs out of gas. The power! The power is real.
Few moments later.
You know what's cool about these R6s? I think it's just the 600s in general. They're super easy to clutchless shift. I think I'm gonna do it the rest of the way home. There's the shift. Another upshift. Maybe squeeze between these two cars. Dude, two little cheeky downshifts. Maybe just this is a good way to get in trouble right here. And let everyone know you're doing it. Say what you want about Mexico, man, but this is a great country. I wonder what the gas mileage on this thing is. I don't think it's very good for a motorcycle. But you know what is good? The smiles per gallon. Oh yeah. Start to tone it down in the neighborhood. And we're home. Oh my god. By the way, check this out. You guys recognize this bike? Probably not, but there's a whole dedicated video coming just dedicated to this bike soon, so stick around.